introductories,
Okay.
Pinzano.
Perfect. I'm Pinzano. A lot of people know me as Paisano, and the ones who know me close know me as Trent. And then my family knows me as Trenton Robert Stanley II. Nobody knows that, but now you do. This is our first live broadcast for people that are doing the GoFundMe account. We're here to talk about PIN. Why are we here to talk about PIN? Well, people have the opportunity to invest in something that I believe will be life changing for a lot of people. People on this call, people that are already invested, and there's going to be a lot of subjects that we're going to cover. Why did I get involved? Project. Me and Craig started talking last year. The token part of the project launched in December. The first things that they were doing, were there was a little bit different vision back then. But you know what I buy is I buy people. And when I was able to talk to Craig and then Jit both, and 90% of what I do is read body language my whole life, and that's how I've been successful in my career. And everything matched up. I knew they were genuine, good people that believed in what they were doing. And then the question was now is, do they have the skills to back it up? Because I've also met some good people. They can't make happen what they like to make happen. And so the vision changed, and we started putting up some lofty goals, and we kept hitting them. And so we're going to start talking about all the different things that we got going on. But right now, this is one of those opportunities, in my opinion, that everybody in the world is going to hear about in at one point. And this is in my opinion. Christchurch, New Zealand, and Auckland. It sounds like everybody's already hearing about it and already knowing about it. And PIN US is being worked on right now as we speak. And once it hits over here in the U.S., even if we only had Christchurch and Auckland, and if we got all those people, none of us would ever have to lift a finger again. And this is the goal of this company. This goal of this company is for us to take the people that don't understand crypto, that doesn't make sense to, the 85% that haven't adopted it, to get them to come on board, to make sure that it's simple, easy. So as long as the people are able to use a smartphone, and I mean smartphone like they can order a pizza or they can play a game, then they can use the PIN app and make money. And that's how they can start actually getting involved in crypto. Maybe they're investing. Maybe they're people that just want to hold on to money. And we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can make money with PIN, but also all the different ways that you can use PIN and how easy it is. And that's really the biggest part. We wanted to make it easy, as simple as possible, and we work on it every single day. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to one of the founders. We have the two founders, Craig and Jit. They were both airline pilots. We're good friends. Always talking about things. You can imagine what airline pilots back there talking about. The speakers on sometimes weird. No, they're talking about crypto a lot of the time. Just been a Ethereum miner and talked Craig into it. And then when the pandemic happened, some new opportunities opened up for airline pilots. So we were fortunate enough for these guys who have gone through some experiences as airline pilots where, they had to go through some emergency situations together, which let them know what each other were made of. And that's where we get PIN here where we're at now today. And this is just the beginning. So go ahead, Craig. Go ahead and take it, my friend.
Thank you, Pinzano. Most of you would have already heard about my background from community conversations that we've had together, but just for the benefit of our new holders, of our new community, my name is Craig. I'm one of the co-founders of Pay It Now. As Pinzano has explained, my background is in commercial aviation. I've spent the last 22 years as an airline captain, flying some of the biggest aircraft around the skies for some of the biggest airlines. 2 years ago, I was made redundant for the second time in 5 years in the aviation sector. Moved my family from Singapore back to New Zealand, and we started throwing around ideas between myself and Jitendra about how to successfully build a company together. We're good friends. It was just the next step in our friendship basis to create a company. We've both got a background in Ethereum mining and trading. We've got a passion for cryptocurrency. And I'll be totally honest, who got me into cryptocurrency was actually Jitendra. we used to fly these long flights throughout the night from Fiji up to Hawaii, and he would always be talking about cryptocurrency to me, and I was a non-believer at the time. I just thought this was just a stupid idea. Cryptocurrency is back to nothing. What's this all about? And then when I got back to New Zealand to set up this company with Jet, he started to talk about Bitcoin more regularly with me. We A funny story. We bought a computer together, and it was worth about $3,000 for another business we were working on. And he told me, "What I'll do is I'll pay you in Bitcoin." And I was like, "No, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want any Bitcoin." And at the time, Bitcoin was $10,000, and within a matter of a few months later, it was worth like $50,000. So potentially, I lost a lot of money, and that is what started me into Bitcoin. So that's just a little funny side story. Anyway, what we did is we got together to create this business because we found a need in the market. We found that cryptocurrency was extremely difficult to use, it's expensive, and it's slow. So we set about trying to overcome these problems in the crypto market by creating our own hosted payment gateway. The whole project kind of started around the fact that we were trying to look at rewarding website owners and users with cryptocurrency. We created a community. We put together our own cryptocurrency called Pin Token, and the community started having a requirement for us to be available in brick and mortar businesses, be on online websites. So our whole company's morphed from this rewards token to a hosted payment gateway that can be implemented in any business, on any website, and through accounting software at the same time. Just before I go any further, I'll let Jitendra explain a little bit about his background before I go off on a tangent.
Cool.
Oh, thanks, Craig. So my name is Jitendra Maharaj. I'm along with Craig. I co-founded Paid Now Pin Token. As Craig explained, my background is also commercial aviation, but I've been a programmer, web developer for about the better part of 17 years now. During that time, I've had the opportunity to work with smaller projects where it was just me and another few people, to large teams where we've created everything from social networks, mobile apps, etc. So the next step was obviously learning Solidity and smart contracts, as we were both into Ethereum at the time, and anything that works like Ethereum, like Binance Smart Chain or Polygon Matic, etc. So yeah, that's how we came along, and that's why we created Pin Token, because we both saw that crypto is inherently hard even till today.
And you've been in it how long then, Jet? How many years now?
Well, I have. Craig's told you about his sad story about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I bought Bitcoin at I think it was like $200 and sold at $1,000 because I thought
Still
it
made
was.
money, but it's still
Oh man, still
there's a
holding
lot of
something at
projects.
this day. Now, this was back. This was back when Bitcoin had a top of like $1,000, not not a bottom of 1,000. Like the local top was $1,000. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been doing Bitcoin. But yeah, Ethereum I didn't really believe in until the last bull cycle really shot it up from like 400 to $4,000, and right now Ethereum is really leading the market. So yeah, it's going places.
Cool. So let's talk about what we do, guys. What do we do? What sets us apart? Why would people want to invest their money in the pin? Why?
Right. So let's talk about the underlying technology. Why pay it now? What's wrong with crypto, and why do we make it better? So, as I've just said, and I promise I didn't plan on it, but you've heard me praise Ethereum, right? Well,
Yeah.
why aren't we on Ethereum then? Why are we a Binance Smart Chain token? Well, Binance Smart Chain is a fork of the Ethereum network, meaning the underlying code is the same. Anything you run on one can be run on the other, as long as you deploy it. But Ethereum is really slow to use. Not sorry, it's very expensive to use. Meaning,
Yeah.
on a bad day when there's a lots of transactions going, if you want to pay someone with a token, not just Pin token, but any token, depending on the complexity of the smart contract, you could be spending anywhere from $2, $5. I've seen $10 for just a transaction fee. So, and that's not how much you're spending. That's how much you're just spending to spend that money in the first place. So Greg's favorite analogy: you walk into a coffee shop, you want to buy a $4 coffee, you gotta pay $10 to pay the
No.
$4. Yeah, it's really silly. So can't use Ethereum, even though you'd want to. You made money using it, you can't use Ethereum. Okay, let me use some Bitcoin. I have some Bitcoin from 5 years ago that's gone up 10 times. I'm gonna walk into that coffee shop and try to spend that Bitcoin. It's not going to work because I'm going to have to stand there for half an hour while they confirm the transaction. So most tokens, they're either really secure but they're slow to transact with, or they're fast but they cost a lot. And when we launched back in last year, Binance Smart Chain was sort of the middle ground where wasn't too expensive to transact, it was fast and it was cheap. However, it's still not as cheap as we want it to be, meaning your Telegram screen's also open there, buddy. Great. Um, so Binance Smart Chain is the cheapest that we had at the time, but it's still not as cheap as we'd like it. If I have to teach someone how to use the Binance Smart Chain, meaning, hey, yeah, you've got these wonderful tokens in your wallet, but to spend them, you got to go and get some BNB from Binance. You got to swap that over to B. It becomes really complicated really fast. So we decided to code what we call a layer two solution. Now it's a technical term, but what it means is it's a side chain or something that runs on top of an existing blockchain. In our case, it was
Can
the
I
smart chain.
can I ask real quick? Because sometimes we get lost in chains and stuff. Blockchain. That's what Bitcoin is, guys.
Mhm.
But the big thing is what Jit is saying is we took all the good stuff from what the chain or the program, the ledger of whatever the company was, or the Binance. We took all the good stuff,
Mhm.
the stuff we didn't like,
Yep.
made it faster and better, and that's what the layer two is. Is that right?
Exactly. We made it faster and, more importantly, cheaper. And when I
And
say
more
cheaper,
secure. Is there more secure now?
there's no gas fees. So now it's easier for laymen to understand how to use cryptocurrency.
So you're saying this is kind of like the Tesla, except we don't even, there's no gas fee, so we don't even have to use solar. We're already past.
That's exactly right, Paisan.
I kind of like that. I like that.
There you go. So that's what the layer 2 does. It basically makes the concept of using cryptocurrency easier for the end user, while at the same time we're taking the volatility away from the merchants. So a lot of merchants right now are hesitant to accept cryptocurrency, and the past few months have not actually been that good for us with Luna, 3AC, Voyager, Celsius, all of these big companies. A lot of people are hesitant about cryptocurrency in
Mm-hmm.
general because they're worried about the volatility. That's where our network comes in, where the consumer can pay with cryptocurrency. We handle all the magic in between, and the merchant gets paid fiat currency. So immediately, there's no
So,
difference to them accepting us than them accepting credit card or debit card through a payment provider.
so can I just jump in here really quick on that?
Mhm.
So what you're saying is, Jit, for me, is what got me is we have the ability for people to buy their first cryptocurrency. All they have to do is download our app.
Exactly.
It's easy for them to buy their first set of cryptocurrency right there with their debit card.
Hmm.
They go into the stores that are our PIN partners
Hmm.
and shop and buy their coffees, their bagels, oil change, got lawyers on it, and then do all the stuff they would normally do.
Hmm.
But they also, as the coin goes up in value, as more people, their value of what they own goes up in value with it. Plus, they get a 1% reflection fee. So, what does reflection mean? That means every time somebody spends money on it, you make money.
Hmm.
And the vendor that you go shop at has a thing they sign up for called PIN loyalty. So they actually are paying you as a consumer. So me, I own my PIN app. When I go shop there, they pay me. So I'm being paid to go shop places. Is that right?
Exactly. So any way you spend crypto, you get 1% in crypto back. So if you spend $100, you get $1 back immediately. It's mostly a lot of like flybys, and you have your miles card. All these stores, they give you points. This is actually money in your wallet right back immediately.
Yeah. You can spend on whatever you want. Awesome.
Exactly. So that's where we're at. That's the whole basis of what we wanted to come up with is the PIN payments network. It lets users easily use cryptocurrency. They can bridge on their Bitcoin, Ethereum, we have a list of tokens that we support, and more tokens are added, more coins are added. And now the best part is the merchant doesn't need to choose what they can accept, because the consumer can pay with whatever they want and the merchant just receives cash. Now we also have options where merchants want to, hold crypto. We can let you do that as well. And it comes down to on-chain solutions, meaning their own native blockchain solutions. They're slow, they're cumbersome. The merchant has to say, I only accept Bitcoin here, I don't accept Ethereum. It makes crypto hard. We're about making cryptocurrency payments easier and more secure.
So
Basically, that's
we
all.
did a video, right, Jit, where we actually put together somebody that wanted to buy something with Bitcoin and somebody that wanted to buy something with PIN. I think the PIN was what did it run about? A little less
Well,
than.
look, our transaction fees, transaction times are much slower than a bit, much slower. You can't even compare them at this point because we're a layer two solution. So, pin pin payments usually finish in less than 3 seconds, where Bitcoin can take up to 30 minutes if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, it could be an hour.
So
Ethereum
30
takes like 15-20 seconds if you pay the outrageous gas fees. There's lightning networks, and there's all sorts of solutions out there. But the problem is, a, they're not consistent. B, merchants have to do a lot of setup to get each of those solutions into their stores or their payment providers or their POS networks, and it's just too big of a hurdle to cross for them. So they don't even bother. Why would they? So
Yeah.
that's why we're trying to sort of get all of these networks on and get one solution out there. And merchants seem to really love it, and users like it because now they don't have to worry about, hey, I want to spend Ethereum. Okay, it's too expensive today, so I'm not going to use it. I want to use Bitcoin, but I don't have the time. I want to use Shiba, but it's too expensive today because of Ethereum. Blah blah. I want to use this BNB token that I have, but that merchant doesn't accept it. So it's all these things where it's too hard. But now when you use our network, it's just so much easier, and that's what we're trying to do. And we've spent the better part of 1 year trying to improve these processes and get more tokens on board. It's been a slow roll, but we're 4 months in. We're seeing about 70 80 merchants on board and people actually using them. um,
Yeah, I was actually, if I could jump in, was going, if you guys don't know, you can go into pinscan.io. And I was noticing the people that were buying, some people selling, there's somebody that got a refund, you know what I mean? And those are all the things that you want to see. Transactions. What's great is the more transactions, whether people are buying, they're selling, we're making money
mhm.
as an owner of PIN. So why would a business want to sign up for PIN? So tell me the highlights, kid. Why, I'm a business. You come to me. Listen, I'm used to taking Visa, MasterCard, give me cash. What do I want to get into this weird? I don't want to complicate my life. I don't like doing any of this stuff. I'm a butcher. I just cut meat and I want it to be simple. Why would I do this? Why should I sign up for your
Okay.
product?
So, why would a merchant sign up for PIN? So, first
Yeah.
of all, you got to realize that every payment provider a merchant uses charges them. We as consumers may or may not see them sometimes,
What do
but
they charge? What's an average? I know you
yeah.
don't.
So, for example, if you have a credit card processor, they might charge you 2.5% plus a fixed fee, usually around 20 or 30 cents per transaction every single time. So
Okay.
that's an average for a credit card. PayPal
And
can average somewhere between 3.5% plus 30 cents or something per transaction. And
wow.
that's for all transactions. Sometimes you have um, PayWave that charge you where you don't have your card, you step and go, that kind of stuff. So usually it's somewhere usually between 2 to 4% per transaction plus the fixed fee. Whereas we come in, we've got cryptocurrency, and we only charge them 0.5%. That's
So
almost,
you go from 2.5 to 3% to a 0.5%.
yeah. We've dropped that right back down to 0.5% to the merchant because we don't have all those overheads. And so
So,
we are able to offer them a much better rate.
so you're saying this. So let me. So what you're saying is, you walk into me and I'm a business. You say, okay, check this out. You're giving away 2.5 to 3% of your money right now.
Mhm.
If I can give you back that 2.5%, you're only going to have to spend 0.5%. Plus, I'm going to bring you in new customers because we have an app that literally has a GPS that says go shop at these places
Mhm.
and they will pay you to shop here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to save you money. So at the end of the year, if you're $100 million business, I'm going to hand you back $2 million, maybe more. What would you do with that $2 million? That's what I would say to a business. If you had an extra $2 million that you had at the end of the year on the saved fees, what would you do with it? I'll tell you what I do. I would probably buy some pen. Wow, this has really blew my mind. And what's great is everybody can do it with the app. So basically, everybody wins.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they can buy different cryptocurrencies, so it doesn't have to be complicated. They can go into the app, they can swap it out. Swap means we just change it. We're just like money changers, just like walking into the bank. But we're talking about tokens. We can swap it out, make it easy. Then what we can do is we can find out the places that take PIN token, go shop there, get paid to shop there, and every time the token goes up in value, our tokens are worth a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wins.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's.
I like that. Normally win and I look forward, but this is like a win, win, win. It's 3 wins. Normally I'm used to 2, so haven't had the 3 wins yet.
I know. Right now, some of the skeptics are thinking, no, this sounds too good to be true, and so it is. And it's not. We're coming up with a simple way of making cryptocurrency payments easier. That's the whole idea. We're not out here to say, okay, we're going to solve we're here to solve a massive problem. That's what we're trying to do. And the massive problem is everything is so difficult to do in crypto right now. And with our system, you can spend crypto that you have, you can earn rewards while you're spending, and merchants do not have to worry about volatility, and they charge less fees than current systems would have them pay.
And that's what people want. I mean, let's be honest, guys, with the inflation and everything else, all these businesses are looking for a way to cut costs. And I'd sure be a lot better that, let's say I played a part because I signed up PIN and it starts being adopted, that I'm able to keep Mary that's been working for me for 15 years because I saved an extra $200,000 that year. And my choice was to get rid of her because I needed to cut the money from somewhere. But instead of her making her $40,000 or $50,000 salary, I get to keep her because people were shopping with actual PIN. So we're actually helping people to make their business better, to get new clients. And let's not get wrong. So also explain where I came from. I'm the largest investor in PIN today. There might be some more, but I doubt it. And there'll be more money coming in. But the thing is that what I really like about it is we've gone through our challenges. There's been mistakes, there's been different things, but it doesn't matter because that's going to come. If you haven't gone through a challenge as a company, then you're not a company, in my opinion, because you haven't shown me what you're worth. We've gone through the challenges. Have we made some mistakes? Sure. But we fixed them fast, and we don't make the same mistake again. And so that's the nice part with this PIN scan that they're putting it through to where they're making it to you can track it. If I'm not mistaken, don't we, Craig, have somebody that works at the office that literally works for the government that tracks all of our transactions?
Yes, that's correct. So, as part of a business operating in New Zealand, and especially in the financial sector, we're heavily monitored by several government departments, one being the Department of Internal Affairs.
So we have accredited, though, like we have certificates that the government has approved us for.
Oh, yes, for sure. So, yeah, we have to be a financial service provider. And we've got 4 different certificates to basically say that we can be a financial service provider. And yeah, like I was saying, we're heavily monitored by the Department of Internal Affairs, and we are required under law to have what we call an AML compliance officer in-house that tracks any malicious transactions, e.g. for money laundering. We've certified our business from day number 1. We've bulletproofed it, we've future-proofed it, we've got everything in place for the future.
That's awesome. I want to talk about, if we can, let's talk about this new thing that we're talking, this PIN marketplace, so we can help, because a lot of people nowadays are saying, hey, if I can buy it online instead of having to go to a store and risk my, whatever your belief is, I want to know, hey, how can I buy this stuff online? Can I use PIN and do that? You know what I mean, in my local stores?
Yeah, of course. So what we wanted as a full product base for Pay It Now, we wanted the ability to have our systems in store. we achieved that through the PIN Network app. We achieved that through POS integration. So we're integrated with several point of sales software at the moment. That's why I had to just pop away just then, because I had to go and talk to getting another shop integrated in Auckland. So we've got that option. We're shortly bringing out our own system that can be downloaded on any countertop computer, so that literally the store owner can toggle between their normal point of sale software and our system to be able to bring up any purchases in store on their computer system. So that's what we wanted. We wanted brick and mortar. We wanted to be able to implement our system into websites, and at the moment we're integrated with Shopify. But ultimately, also what we wanted a collection. We wanted a website where all our PIN partners can come together, put their products on our website, and sell them with cryptocurrency. So I'm pretty sure my screen is shared in front of you. This is the PIN marketplace. Can anyone see it?
Yep, we can see it. We want to see a different screen. It keeps toggling through the same ones.
Oh, a juicy hamburger. So this is the PIN marketplace. All our stores or our PIN partners are on the PIN marketplace at this time. We're going through the upload process. So as an example here on the screen, we have two POS integrations with Thirsty Liquor Wanihaga and also Thirsty Liquor Glen Innes. So what we can do is we can click on that store. It'll bring up some products that they list on their online store. As an example, here's a bottle opener. We'll click on that bottle opener, add that to our cart. Oh, that's $500,000. We better adjust that price. That's not good. And then we can click on the checkout button in our cart, which will get us through to the hosted payment gateway, where we can scan the QR code. Once we scan that QR code, you can enter in your delivery address, and a courier will automatically come out and pick up that product from the merchant and ship it out to the user.
So the scan the QR code, just like all these restaurants now. We literally just use the app and just scan that, right?
Yeah, correct. And literally the transaction goes through within a few seconds.
On the bottom, just keep doing it on our phone and just copy it and put it on there, and it just populates for us. It's just super easy.
Go on, Craig.
Correct.
Scan that QR code. Spend the 500K.
What's going on?
Show the team how it works. Go on. You can do it.
My operations team, if you're listening, do you see that, guys? That you've just charged me $500,000 for a bottle opener? Can you get that changed? Thank you. Appreciate it.
I like it.
Thanks for the reflections, guys.
Yeah, I know. We've been talking about some reflections. We want them all at once right now. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then obviously all our products are online here. So I think we've uploaded close on 250 products now. Every day with more and more products being added on. We're not fully live with this site yet because we're just waiting for final word for the courier companies to give us a non-test version of the API so we can get the actual freight costs.
What does that mean? What does the API mean? Don't know.
We'll get your man to explain this one.
Okay. Jet?
Oh, he's gone missing.
Sorry, I was muted. So an API basically gives us access to do stuff programmatically, and it lets us basically calculate shipping rates, and basically we feed it an address where it's coming from and where it's going, and it calculates and tells us what the rate is. I could tell you the long form. It's called an application programming interface, but that's
I don't know.
exactly.
Okay.
But anyway, for those who want to know, what it does is all these merchants, they have an address with us. When you pay, you give the payment gateway your address, and so with this API, we can calculate and tell you what the shipping cost is going to be. All of everyone from Amazon, Amazon probably uses their own shippers, so they don't really need it. But any large store that uses any form of shipping has to have one of these APIs. Mighty Ape here in New Zealand, they use NZ Post, I think, one of the preferred customers with the amount of stuff they do. But yeah, an API basically does everything automatically for us.
Somebody's getting a call. So then let me ask you a question. Okay, so then we got pin loyalty, right? And that's where people are paid just like they would at like their local store loyalty rewards, but it's actually we're paying them in pin tokens, which is pin cash, things like that, right?
Mhm.
And then we got pin swap, which means that we can take whatever tokens that we got or that are in our system and we can swap them for pin, right?
Okay, so let me elaborate a little bit here. So
Let's go.
we right now we have the Pay It Now network app. It's called the Pin Network. It's available from the App Store. You can see on our website how to download it. One of the features that's in there is called the convert function. So right now, if you're holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Quick, Shiba, AVAX, all of these tokens, you can come in and you can trade between them. And basically, it's like having and trading stocks or any form of investment, basically. So what it does is it lets you hold these cryptos, exchange them for each other, and if you want to, then you can withdraw pin. The simple fact is, right now on the network, we're only allowing pin tokens to be unbridged off because that's what's backed 1:1 on the layer 2. So every
Okay.
time someone buys or trades, we basically buy or trade those pins to back them on the layer 2. So that's why you can only unbridge pin tokens. Apart from this, is all happening on the pin network, which is our own side chain, right? Our layer 2 solution. You also have Pin Swap coming out soon, which is a completely on-chain solution. What this means is you'll be able to swap BNB, Matic, Ethereum, and Pin for BEP20, ERC20 tokens on Ethereum and Matic, and obviously Pin as well. And this all happens on the native chain. Don't show them the address, Craig. And now everyone knows where it is. Ah.
No, look, I did think about that before I showed you this. So all I wanted to add to your team is that PinSwap is not in a live situation; it's still in a testing situation. So please don't use it at this time.
Yeah, it's in alpha, and we're soon be inviting people to test it for us. If you decide to go and use it right now, and you lose some tokens, you are warned. It's in alpha testing, meaning we are testing it out, and we should be launching it soon. Now, as I said, this is a complete on-chain solution, meaning our layer is not involved at all. It's if you're doing Ethereum trade, if you're trading Ethereum for Pin, if you're trading Ethereum for Shiba, if you're trading Matic for Quick, if you're trading Matic for AVAX and all that, it's all happening on their native chains. But so why would I use this? Why wouldn't I just go to
Yeah.
the swaps and use that? Well,
Hey,
Pin
Jet,
Swap.
are you happy for me to show it on screen? Just have
Yeah,
a
you
quick
know
look.
what? Show them. Like I said, please do not go and use it right now. It's in alpha testing. So what makes Pin Swap new and better? We've taken the first scam that users do against you away from them, and that is as soon as you connect your wallet to a smart contract, it has potentially the ability to drain your entire wallet, and that's a very common thing that happens. People get wrecked all the time. So our swap does everything without wallet connect. We use the
So,
same.
can I put it in simple terms?
Mhm.
It's kind of like, guys, when you get those phishing websites or those phishing text messages, it says hit this link and I'll fix your Amazon or whatever else is wrong. Once they get access and they go and they drain everything that you got. Well, in crypto, you always get the negative stuff because, you know what I mean? A lot of the governments don't really like it just because the fact is they want to control it. What we're saying and Jit is saying here, what if we could take away the ability to where even if you wanted to go out there and be more exploratory, to where you're not going to expose yourself. So you're like, I'm willing to take even bigger risks, but I'm not really taking a risk because I'll tell you, there's a lot of plays out there that I did not take the risk because I didn't trust the website. I didn't trust to connect my wallet, you know, and it was like I'd have to create a whole new one. But what they've done is solve that issue. That we believe that we've solved that issue to
Yeah.
where now we're not exposing ourselves. So imagine we get to stay anonymous, buy the product that you have, but we're not going to expose ourselves, our safety, and our money to this company that we believe is a good company. That's why we're buying it, but we just don't know for sure.
And like I said, that's pin swap. It's an on-chain solution that removes the necessity of connecting your wallet, and that'll be available shortly as well. It's in final phases of testing before we roll out to the public.
Okay. And so let's, we're at the 41-minute mark. So what I would like to go into, so we have 100 million supply of PIN tokens, and that's the max supply that we have of PIN on the BSC smart chain.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the pledge me right now, where hopefully the people who listen to this tell us about the pledge me and what our goals are and what we're looking for. Who wants to explain that?
Go on, Craig.
Sorry, my mic was on mute. So, Pledge Me, what are our goals here? We are raising capital for the company Pay It Now. Why do we want to raise capital? We want to raise capital because we want to push out our sales and marketing. We want to push out our global expansion. As everyone's probably aware, sales and marketing is one of the biggest costs associated with running the business, and it's incredibly expensive. So where we're at now is we've developed all the technology for the company. We're pushing out to businesses. We've got 75 businesses on board. But we've got these businesses with not a lot of their customers using our products at the moment. So what we need is we need the capital to go out there and be on every billboard in the country. We need to be on the radio. We need to be on the TV to get some awareness for the PIN. So what we've done is we've put together a Pledge Me campaign. Now, a Pledge Me campaign is an online website where anyone from around the world can go onto and start pledging and buy equity in the company. So for as little as $250, you can buy a piece of our action. You can buy a piece of Pay It Now. Ultimately, once we start making the profits around about the 2 or 3 year mark, our investors, our equity shareholders, will actually get a chunk of that profit in dividends. So what I'll do once the guys start talking again a little bit more about it is I'll jump on and share the Pledge Me campaign with you guys by sharing my screen. But jump on to pledgeme.co.nz, click on Pay It Now, and you can read all about our business. There's an information memorandum that talks about every aspect of what we do, talks about the team, it talks about the share offer. And just have a good look. There's also a really great investment video on there with Jim, myself, and Jitendra talking about Pay It Now.
It's pretty good. It would have been better if I would have been on there, but that's okay. But listen,
Well,
here's the thing that I want
to fly over more often.
Here's the thing. In this Pledge Me campaign, they also have some special incentives that they're doing right now for the first 200,000 of NZD. For us here in the U.S., it's really only about $100,000, a little bit more than that. Me personally, I've been out summertime, so I have things booked 6-7 months out in advance. So I was at a youth camp last week. This next week, I'm going to be focused on talking to some of the investors that I know this week, and that investors are going to invest, $250 or this or that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do whatever you can. Don't put yourself in a bad spot. But I'll be talking to people that are normally used to investing millions of dollars, but we'll be going for, hey, they're new to crypto. So I'm like, hey, just put in 25, what you're comfortable with. Put in 50, 50 to grand to these guys is like, $1,000 to a lot of us, or 500. And so this campaign, go look at it, though, because it gives you the opportunity to own shares in something. And if you're part of that first 200,000, you have incentives to where you're actually going to get some pretty neat things, some tokens that you have the ability to get that they have laid out there. And those tokens, guys, are just going to continue to go up in value. Right now, market's been down. And what's great about this market going down, you can look at it two ways. Number one is, everything's down. First of all, the only way you lose money in a down market is by selling. It's buying high and selling low. But if you hold, right, and it's a good company, that's got to be the other key. Can they make it through it? In my opinion, PIN is here to stay. In January, in my opinion, we're going to have some huge gains to where I'm going to be super excited because I've got every one of my kids has got a wallet. They got the app. And we're going to make crypto so easy that people, instead of spending their dollars, which their dollars are gone, they'd rather spend pen, because every time somebody else spends pen, they're making money. Every time they're going to spend pen, they're also going to end up making money on it as far as the 1% reflections. Just imagine that. If everybody in New Zealand, let's just say we just stayed in New Zealand, let's say 50% of them decided, I'm just going to buy all my groceries, everything that I do on a daily basis, I'm just going to use my pen. Well, we get 1% of whatever that total is spread between all the people that own it as far as the tokens go. Okay, company value goes, that's where this is stocks. Some guys are like, I'm not into the crypto part, I don't want the tokens. Well, then get into the stocks part, because that's where you can actually own shares of the company, and it's just like every other company. It'll go up in value. And right now, companies are we can't keep up with how many companies are picking it up. That's what it really comes down to. We've got a great team. And so they went through the Pledge Me route. And so that it gives every normal person the opportunity to own something, to be a part of something huge. So, but as far as for me, that's all I have to say, guys. We covered pin rewards just by going to shop pin swap, which means swap whatever tokens you already got if you're a crypto user. For business owners, you can pay 3% if you want to Visa, MasterCard just by having that. That's up to you, and they're not going to bring anybody else into your stores because they just assume you take it. Or you can add PIN. It's going to put a GPS on the map that's going to show somebody how to walk to your store, tell them they're going to get paid to shop there, and you're going to be saving, depending on how much your bottom line is every year running through Visa, hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of dollars to put back in your pocket. And it's going to bring you new customers, so you don't have to spend the money on advertising. And then Pin Marketplace, guys, we're going to be able to go online, just like Amazon, just like some of these other things right there, but Amazon obviously, and just be able to pay with Pin. And pretty soon, it's not there yet, I would say sooner than later, we're going to be able to buy it, and it's going to be shipped right to your house, just like everything else, and then we get paid to do that. And that's all I got to say.
Alrighty, approaching the 1 hour mark. Let's open it up. Anyone who wants to ask any questions over the past week or 2 weeks or so, you can unmute yourself now and ask now.
Hey Craig, how are you, mate? It's Graham.
Hey Graham, how's Australia at the moment? How's that?
Yeah, really. Apart from being freezing, I wish I was over where Pisano is at the moment. But
103
here.
degrees 3 days ago. 106.
Whoa,
Melted.
that's crazy here. So I've really got one question, just to sort of get an understanding of where we're at with the rollout. Are we at a point yet where, say, in Australia, because I mean where I am in Australia is pretty remote to Sydney and Melbourne, where if you were to approach, say, a small mum and dad business and they wanted to come online, are we at the point where you could ship the stuff to them, or are we still at the point where people are going in and setting up for them?
So we are ready for Pin Australia. The only thing that's holding us back at the moment is the fact that we haven't set up a company over there yet. Now, can we go into any brick and mortar store in Australia at the moment? The answer is yes, we can. As long as that brick and mortar store complies with New Zealand AML requirements. As you know, obviously New Zealand and Australia have a very close relationships, and basically any laws that get passed in Australia, they end up coming over here anyway. So apart from a little bit of enhanced customer due diligence, which is only proof of address, we are ready to go into any store in Australia. The only thing that we is a little bit different from New Zealand is that the owners will not be able to be cashed out in Australian dollars right now. They can have their wallet open. They can have an Australian digital value. They can accumulate that Australian digital value, but we'll have to change that out into a stable cryptocurrency. Now, how long is that going to be for? Not long at all. Once we're past this crowdfunding round, we plan to go into Australia straight away. What's holding us back is a little bit of capital at the moment. So once we get that capital, with our colleagues in Australia, and probably the help of you also, Graham, we'll set up a business here. Once we set up that business, we can set up a bank account. Once we have that bank account, it means we have the ability to cash out our PIN partners straight into their Australian bank accounts in Australian dollars.
Beautiful. Thanks for that, mate.
Are you ready to go? Are you ready to give up what you're doing and start selling for us?
I can't give up my like what I'm doing.
No.
But I do. I'm one of the lucky ones where I don't even work 50% of the year in my job. I get a lot of time off, so I'm sort of at that stage where I've started talking to people about it, but I sort of like I know a few little mums and dad businesses and that kind of stuff. So as soon as we're ready to sort of allow them to be able to cash out and not have that sort of risk to them, that's when I sort of would feel more comfortable with them to go, hey, come on, give this a go. I mean, a lot of the companies over here, the smaller companies like hairdressers and all that kind of stuff, they're into the pay now, buy now, pay later stuff, and all of that. So they look at alternatives to generate business, and this is definitely a great option for them.
So it's just a payment method, right? So a lot of these companies, or a lot of companies out there, are trying to get as many payment methods as possible. And why are they trying to do that? Is because it brings in a different generation of customers. It brings in a different type of customers. We are that addition, right? We are a financial service dealing in cryptocurrency that has not been available until recently for a merchant to be able to have a new generation of customers come in the door, use their cryptocurrency, but make it so much easier for the merchant because we just put Australian dollars straight into their bank account. Take the volatility of the crypto market away from the merchant so they don't have any stresses about paying their overheads, their staff. All they do is they sell their product at $1,000 TV, they get $1,000 into their bank account. Who wouldn't want that during a recession?
Well, I've got something I just realized. So one of our friends has walked into the office today who actually went and used crypto for the first time yesterday at Indian Paradise, didn't they? Can you tell us how that went down? Come on, I know you're looking at me. You can tell us how that went down yesterday when you walked into Indian Paradise and tried to spend crypto for the first time.
Yeah, so it was actually quite an exciting experience going into a restaurant and being able to pay for my takeaway meal using crypto. And yeah, it was as easy as connecting up to the internet and then scanning the QR code. Like, I almost wanted to take a photo with the restaurant owner to be like, yeah, first pay it now deal. But yeah, I definitely believe it's an alternate payment system that, like Craig said, makes it easy for the merchant to not have to worry about the volatility. So yeah. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, so we've had this Indian restaurant come on board where we didn't have to do a lot of training with them or anything. We went with them, we put them on board, and I went and used their services. Craig went and used their services. It boggles our mind how quickly this guy just uses it without it's almost like that's the thing we have to get over, I think, with other people. It's just as easy, if not easier, than using an FPOS machine, our network. And that's how that guy treats it. He's so busy, he doesn't have time to fluff about. He just picks it up and uses it like he uses an FPOS machine, and it just works. And that's what we're aiming to do, and that's where we're at right now. So that's
what was so crazy, as Jet was explaining, I went in there the other night and I scanned the QR code and I'm looking at my phone waiting for the confirmation that comes through within a second. But the owner had already put down his phone and walked out the back of his sword. He didn't even confirm a transaction. And I'm like, wow, you're so comfortable already using our system that you didn't even look to make sure that the cryptocurrency and the New Zealand dollars had come into your wallet. It was unbelievable. And I actually went in there a second time the other night, and I still haven't told the owner who I am. So eventually I will go and tell them that I'm one of the co-founders. But the second time again, I was like, oh, this is a great system. Have you had many customers come in the door? It's like, started smiling. It's like, yeah, I've had 5 or 6 customers so far. And I was just shocked because I've gone in there, Jet's gone in there, but we don't know who the other 3 customers are.
And
That's awesome.
and that's why we wanted them up there, because that's where we spend our money anyway. And if we're spending money anyway, we might as well start spending pin there.
You know what? That's a great point, guys. Is that, you know what, especially New Zealand and like it's good to be in the U.S. and everything else. That's got to be one of your questions as a holder, right? Hold just the token, and you hold the stocks and the token. Well, do you take pin? That's how I prefer to pay. Well, what's that? No, I don't take that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pay this time, but if I come in, except I don't know if I'm going to be coming and shopping here. You know, because it's just too easy. That's how I prefer to pay. You know what I mean? So I go to a place because they pay me to shop there. If you want to find out how to get paid to shop there, and give them a card, give them the website, and it'll sign you up. You know what I mean?
Can we say the other reason why our friends come and visit us today, Jed, or is that under wraps at the moment?
I don't know. Well, we could say something. Well, we've got our first crypto ATM going out very soon anyway, so now people can walk up to this ATM, put their money in, and take out their pin token. So now you can buy pin token IRL at an ATM. So along with other cryptocurrency, of course. So yeah, this guy's an ATM expert, and he's here to get us set up.
Nice.
Alrighty. Unless people have any more questions, me and Craig have got to jet off.
Craig, just one quick one.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course.
With the papers, you guys are putting a pledge now, and then in a month and a half, if it's still going, like if it hasn't filled, can you put in a second pledge?
Yep, 100%. So you can pledge as many times as you like. Over and over. Look, with the campaign so far, we've done pretty well in the first week. We raised about 52,000. Like Pinzano said, that we've got a few investors that are holding back at the moment. One of them I've just talked to in New Zealand only a few days ago, learned about our project. He is potentially a larger investor, so that minimum should fill up fairly rapidly. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities because we've got a minimum of 200,000, but we've got a maximum of 2 million. So don't be worried about missing out because the opportunity will still be there for you, Graham.
Here's the thing, Graham, and just because Craig doesn't know I this, so the bonuses that are available are on the first 200,000. It's like for the first people to start the motion, the incentives that they got, and go look on that. They have incentives. They're giving away free pin tokens, basically, for investors. So I would look at that first, because honestly, and to be truthfully, I do not believe by the end of next year that will be available. And that's just based upon me going and talking to people. So as long as I don't know if you guys saw my ankle and my thing hold up well, they already have the meeting set up. They're already ready to spend the money. They just want to sit down because they're friends of mine. They want to talk to me. You know how it goes. Hey, I'm seeing you. I want to talk to you. Okay, fine. I'll give you this 50,000 for whatever you're talking about. I don't even know what it is. You talk to me and all these things. You've always been right. So I'm going to do it anyway. He said if it's real estate, I'd be giving you, 5-10 million, but it's not. So you need 50,000. But remember, for us here in the U.S., we're only talking about another, $70,000. You know what I mean? So we're not even talking about, So when I get these guys who invest 30, they're really investing 50-something, 60-something. You know what I mean? And so we're only really a small thing away. So what I would say is don't put yourself in a tough situation. It's not worth that because you're already a holder, which is great. You're gonna win out. But if you plan on doing something, I would say you make the moves. How people win in the period is you buy when it's low and then you sell when it's high. But you gotta get when it's low. But see, that's the point. Everybody's scared. They do the FOMO. Once it starts jumping up, they jump in. Then they get mad and then they sell because they jumped in with the wave. The smart ones are the ones that bought when it was low. Then it goes high. They take out a little bit of profits, but they know, hey, this is going to continue to make money. And so this first 200,000 is where you're going to get that extra kiss. And when you add in the numbers with the tokens, you actually get a pretty significant amount.
Yeah. Is
Cool.
just sitting in the background here and look at my phone going ping, ping, ping. There's 3 new pin partners just on board since we've been talking. Fantastic.
So that's the idea, guys. This thing is just starting to roll. It's really just starting to get momentum. And the ones who were here from the beginning, I know it's been tough for some of us because, the funny part is that we always want to pick things apart when things aren't going good, because that's the point, because that's how it is. Hey, listen, it's like this. Back in my old companies, if I was working for another company and I wasn't producing what they want, they'd be over my back telling me, well, do this, do that, do this. And I'd be so frustrated because I knew what they were saying wasn't right or even on. But guess what? I had to do it because I wasn't performing. So like, you know what? I deserve for you to pick me apart, because if I was making a bunch of money right now, we would be having this conversation. And that's just how it works. But that would motivate me to always make money. So it's like, don't get in my ear, dude. You're making money. You know what I mean? So the reality was that they had no right to tell me anything. But if I wasn't performing and the money wasn't coming out and wasn't being made, then I'd have to sit there and listen to all these weird cock-up ideas and things. But I would sit there and tell myself, go, Trent, don't put yourself in this again. You do not want to go through this, because they want you to go through these ideas. So anyways, guys, we're hitting that DEFCON mark. We're actually over it right now. Let's just see one of our partners has a question. We're at that end mark.
All right, guys. So I will save this recording. I think I'll need to convert it. Like I said, this was the first time we're trying this new system, so I'll get this converted and upload it to YouTube.
The pin scan, all the pin scan. I like that.
I'm going to stop recording now.
That's awesome. We got pin going in. We got pin going out. We'll look at where pin out ends